Curtis Calhoun here with MMA News, and my next guest has another big fight coming up in the PFL Playoffs. It's Amber Leibrock joining me again today. How's it going, Amber?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And first things first, I think you either just got done with a training session or about to start a training session. How are things going at the gym today?
Good. I just got done with the training session and I'm waiting for my other coach, Adam Piccolotti, to get here so we can do our wrestling session that we have. And yeah, everything's going really good. It's been a great camp. And weight's good, body's good, mind's good, everything's feeling great, and we're really excited for this opportunity. I'm blessed to have another opportunity and still in the semifinals, and we're excited. Can't wait to be in New York.
I've spoken with Adam a few times, and obviously a veteran of the fight game. What are some of the biggest things you've learned from him and your time training together, and not even just in the cage but outside the cage too?
Well, Adam has definitely become like my brother. I'm very close with him, very close with his wife, his brand new son. And he's changed it for me. He's changed the way I approach the mat. He's changed the way I approach my training sessions. He's just changed it all. And he's like, look, you're not a kickboxer. You're not a Muay Thai fighter. You are an MMA fighter. So whatever you do, you need to be thinking MMA, and I think I put a lot of limitations on myself mentally on what I could do in the last fight. So this whole camp has just been about being the best I can be everywhere and really implementing myself as an MMA fighter, not just a striker, not just a this, not just a that. Like wherever we go, like I got it. And if I get into some trouble, it's okay because I can go here or I can go there. And he's really brought the dog out in me. He does not take it easy on me. He does not, I get the big brother treatment 99% of the time. And I'm extremely grateful for it.
Especially over the last year, do you feel like you've made it more of a focus to kind of well-round your game, so to speak, like in terms of showing that you can do everything and wherever the fight goes, you're ready?
Absolutely, absolutely. I started my career or I started training. I was a grappler. All I did was grapple. I did a bunch of jiu-jitsu competitions, did really, really well. And when I got over to striking and I started knocking people out, I kind of adopted myself as just being a striker. I'm like, oh, I'm 6 foot tall. Tall people can't wrestle. Like, we're doing so well on the feet. Let's just be, we're a striker. And it's taken me a little bit of time to no, you're not just a striker, you're an MMA fighter and you need to fill those holes because you are really good on the ground. And the only way to get them there is to get them there. So fill in the holes, do what you have to do, 100%, be a MMA fighter 100% of the time, not just when you're wrestling, not just when you're doing this, whether you're doing boxing pads, whether you're doing Muay Thai pads, you're always thinking MMA. And that really has been kind of the shift in my mind of really wanting to implement that. Because, the Martina fight, I was supposed to grapple. Just so happened I got the head kick, but we had trained that whole fight to wrestle. So yeah, this year has definitely been about kind of embodying myself as a well-rounded MMA fighter.
Well, let's talk about it. Obviously, we have another big fight coming up against Marina Mokhnatkina for a spot in the PFL championships. Goes to the winner. Obviously, she's got an interesting style, right? Combat Sambo style is always interesting to prepare for. Talk to me a little bit about the stylistic matchup, how you see the fight, and how pumped you are to get back in there.
Yeah, I obviously know what she's going to do, what she's good at. I've really been focusing on myself this fight and making sure that I'm well-rounded everywhere I go, having the mentality. It doesn't matter if we're on our feet or on the ground. Like I'm here to finish the fight. I've been kind of, I think I've been giving everybody a little bit too much respect. I think I gave Larissa Pacheco a little too much respect. You know what I mean? And I'm going in there to finish her. I want to take her head off. I want to take another head home with me. And whether it's with my feet, with my hands, or I get my hands around her neck and I choke her out, it's going to be something. I'm not playing, and this is my time. This is my moment. I had a really big opportunity last time. We see what happened, and by the grace of God, I'm still in it. I'm here in the semifinals, and I'm not taking it lightly. I've made the changes I've need to make, and I've X'd out all the negative things that were kind of interfering with my brain, and I'm here 100%, and I'm ready to bring this fight to her, and I hope that she's ready to bring the fight because I'm coming in there to finish it. No more 3 round, nothing. I'm coming in there to finish this fight.
Obviously, I don't want to touch too much on the last fight because obviously I know you're looking ahead to this matchup and what's to come. But
Mhm.
what were some of your biggest takeaways from the fight against Larissa Pacheco?
I started a little too slow, you know what I mean? Like she came in there to finish me and I came in there to perform, have a 3 round like good war with her, but she knew that I possessed the power as well, and she got to me first. Hats off to her, hats off to her camp. She's the best in the world at the moment for a reason, but she chased down Kayla Harris and I'm gonna chase her down too. And once I get through Marina, I'm right back in there. And that's a beautiful thing about PFL is I will see her again and I know what to expect this time. And, I'm going to chase her down until I get what I want.
In terms of the platform that you're getting ready to fight on too, obviously with fighting in Madison Square Garden and everything that comes with it, all the combat sports history there. I mean, just kind of talk to me a little about, what that means to you and the journey you've been on to be able to fight on this big stage.
It's crazy, like I used to feel like just fighting in Vegas was like so amazing, because it's the fight capital or whatever. But to go being from the West Coast, right? Like I'm from Northern Cali, going all the way to New York to fight at MSG, like in the big city, in the Big Apple. It's just it's mind blowing. And it's one of those things that I don't think I'm fully going to be able to feel the magnitude of it until like I'm there, and like in it, like seeing it, like I kind of want to be able to see the venue before I even fight in it, hopefully I'm going to try to make that happen. And I just want to really take this moment in. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. This is something that all fighters wish that they get to. And I'm here and it's freaking exciting. And I'm happy. I'm so happy. And especially after the last one, like it feels really good to still be in it and be able to finish what I started.
I want to talk a little bit about too, like your ability to handle losses at this point in your career, right? Because obviously, there's probably some differences from the beginning of your career to now in terms of how you're able to bounce back and handle defeat and all that. Like, I think I saw a social media post from you just a few days after the Pacheco fight, and you seemed in good spirits, ready to turn the page. I mean, kind of talk to me a little bit about that, like the process of bouncing back from losses at this point in your career and the lessons you've learned.
I say this all the time, and my one of my coaches that I had a pleasure of training with, and I'm not sure who he heard it from. I think he heard it from Monday, but Alex Munoz, he's a UFC fighter. He taught me have a short memory, whether it's wins, whether it's losses, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Don't live anywhere too long. Keep it moving. And I didn't start fighting to just win. I didn't start fighting to be famous. I didn't start fighting for all those things. Like the reasons why I started fighting were all personal self-growth, like things. And it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. Like I'm a fighter. Like I'm a fighter. This is what I'm going to do until I can't do it anymore. And it's not like, like she TKO'd me. Cool. Like I wasn't seriously hurt. It's not like I'm in there sorry, excuse my language. It's not like I'm in there like getting brutally damaged. Like I lost a fight. I lost a fist fight. She hit me with a really good shot in the first one and I just couldn't get my eyes back, but it never deters me, especially being still in the semifinals. Not going to lie, it was hard going from the back of that fight where I was bawling my eyes out and to having to walk into the cage to face off for the semifinals was a little interesting. But after some days had passed, it's like, bro, I'm still in it. Like, I'm not out. Okay, cool. I lost a fight, but I'm not out. And anybody else that would have lost the fight that night would have loved to be in the position I'm in, would have loved to still be here, win or lose. And I don't want to disrespect anybody by being, oh, I'm sad I lost a fight. No, I'm still in it. Like, I'm here, and a million people would love for my spot. So I'm going to do what I have to do, and I'm going to do everything that it takes to stake my claim and take back what's mine, because we started this tournament off with a bang and I want to continue with the bang. And yeah, I still have my opportunities. So I can't really be too sad about it.
And I remember the last time we talked a little bit about, kind of your beginnings in MMA and your tough upbringing and all that. Like, for those that don't really know too much about your story and growing up in the Bay Area and all that, talk to me a little bit about that and how that's kind of fueled your mentality, especially at this point in your life.
Yeah, I grew up in a like it's a nice place, but it's rough. Like, everyone that I grew up with, we're all kind of struggling with the same things, whether it be, parents, drugs, gangs, violence, like all this stuff. Um, so yeah, a lot of us we weren't supposed to make it very far. It was hard. It was hard to kind of get out of like certain lifestyles. But I fully believe that everything I'd been through definitely shaped me to be who I am today. And even though like it could be kind of rough here in the Bay Area, and we all have a story, we all come from somewhere. Like we're all super special people. We're all super talented, whether it's music, fashion, fighting, sports, football, whatever it is. Like when you come from the Bay, you just have a little bit of extra in you. So I'm extremely like proud of where I'm from. Obviously, like everybody knows I always talk about it, always talk about being from Hayward, always talk about being from the Bay Area. And that's because even though this place, did have a rough upbringing or like brought a lot of trials and tribulations, it definitely gives me my pizzazz. It makes me who I am. It definitely makes me one of a kind. And yeah, so it's just a little bit about, where I'm from. And, yeah.
Where do you feel like you would be in your life and just overall if you hadn't have found competition and fighting and all that? Like, do you reflect on that sometimes? Like just how fortunate you are to be in this position and, the different direction you could have potentially went?
Yeah, absolutely. Fighting saved my life. It got me off of drugs, it got me out of partying, which is something that I was really good at, really good at. And I think about that all the time. I think about where I would be. And honestly, if I didn't find fighting or have combat sports, and this probably is a little bit why I can take a loss so well as well, is because if I didn't have these things, I didn't have this life. There's a good chance I'd still be on drugs, in and out of jail. I'd probably have a couple kids, a few shitty baby daddies, just in the rut that most people get stuck in around here. And I'm very fortunate, very, very fortunate, because me being able to battle my drug addictions has also helped, my little brothers battle their own demons and their own battles, even though they don't live in the same state as me, so just kind of leading by example. And yeah, I'm glad I'm not where I could be. I'm glad I am where I'm at, for sure.
Absolutely. And what's your message to those that might be watching this and that are going through, tough times or might be in I don't want to say the same scenario, but a similar scenario in a similar place in their life that you were at? Like, what's your message to them to get up off their feet and push forward?
My message for anybody that's just kind of having a rough time is to just have faith. You got to have faith. You have to believe. You have to put you have to put like everything that has ever happened to you to the side, and you have to just continue day by day and having faith and having and believing and not letting your circumstances define who you are is going to help a lot. Like, quit the sad story, quit talking about it, quit, oh, well, I had this. All right, cool. Like all that stuff had happened to you, but here you are today. Here you are now. Believe in yourself, love yourself, hold yourself accountable. Stop making bad decisions, because a lot of us, especially when you come from troubling times, like you repeat those as you get older. So check yourself, stop making bad decisions, stop repeating like bad habits, and just know that if you continue to do good and believe in your heart and have good faith, that it will all start to work out for you. So just, continue on that good path.
The last question for me, what can PFL fans expect from your performance and your fight when you walk in the cage and get ready to compete once again? I guess, what's your message to fans getting ready to watch at home?
Yeah, keep your eyes open, don't blink on this one. Like, I'm coming to finish. Like, I'm no longer like worried about these 3 round, whatever. Like, if they happen, they happen. But like, I want to take someone's neck. I want to take someone's head home. And unfortunately, Marina's in my way, and she's on a fight streak, a win streak. And I now have a loss. So I want to take that back. And yeah, just expect a really good fight. She's a fighter. I'm a fighter. And I think we're both going to come in there to finish each other. And it's going to be an amazing fight. So keep your eyes on it.
And before we wrap things up here, I'll give it the final word to shout out your team, sponsors, social media, all that good stuff. I'll give it the final word.
Absolutely. First of all, always, I want to thank all my coaches and teammates over at CSA. I want to thank all my coaches and teammates at El Nino Training Center. I want to thank all my coaches and teammates over at Half Moon Bay Martial Arts, Raul Castillo's, where I train with Adam a lot at. And as far as my sponsors, I want to give it up to Puncher's Chance, always keeping me, supported during the fight. I want to give it up to the Shorties, Team Shorty Foundation, who is a newer sponsor of mine, an amazing foundation, helping out all up and coming fighters. My sponsor, Cantonique, and I'm always forgetting people. I always am forgetting people. And yeah, my hypnotherapist, Richard Hart. I want to give it up to my PT, Hayden, who's always keeping me in one piece. And if I did forget anybody, I love you. I'm so sorry you put me on the spot. But yeah, so that's it.
It's all good. I'm sure they know who they are for sure. Well, Amber, it's always great to chat with you. All the best in these final few weeks of camp, and all the best with the rest of camp. And I'm sure we'll chat again soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much.